What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. So before I get into this video, I want to give a big shout out to the brother Giovanni Giles for the $10 donation via the Cash App. Much respect to him for showing love once again to Too Raw for TV, aka Too Raw for Sports, aka Too Raw Media. So, man, I tell you, man, I don't know what's gotten into Draymond Green lately, but this guy's out of control, man. This guy is out of control. But I gotta admit, that shit was funny what he just did to Rudy Gobert, man. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, earlier in tonight's game between the Minnesota Timberwolves and the Golden State Warriors, which is a rematch of the game they just had, I think 2 days ago. I think it was Sunday. Sunday. So there was a sequence very, very early in the game. I think a little over a minute into the game, Wiggins missed a three-pointer for the Timberwolves. Not Andrew Wiggins, who also ironically formerly played for the Timberwolves, but the other Wiggins that's in the NBA that plays for the Timberwolves. He missed a three, and Klay was holding on to, I think his name is Jaden McDaniels. He was holding on to his jersey. Now, I think that he was holding on to his jersey for a couple of reasons. Number one, I think he was holding on to his jersey to help secure the rebound for the Warriors, and maybe also to slow him down. You know what I'm saying? Look, there's certain veteran tricks that players use. You know what I'm saying? Look, man, Klay ain't the fastest dude. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes players do little things, but unfortunately, it became too much of a tug and war between the two, and it started like tussling with each other. You know what I'm saying? It was a little bit of a scrap, not punches thrown, but just basically, pulling each other's jerseys and yelling at whatever, right? Just good old 90s basketball, in my opinion, right? But then Rudy Gobert came over and he grabbed Klay Thompson, right? He grabbed him. I noticed that the commentators were saying that Rudy Gobert was choking Klay, but I didn't see that. Okay, I didn't see that. But then Draymond came over and choked the shit out of Rudy Gobert, man. I mean, choked the shit out of this motherfucker, man. That shit was funny as a motherfucker. I mean, he was choking that big motherfucker, man. All 7'2" of them. And, Rudy Gobert pointed to the refs like, help me. Let help. Don't you say that he's choking me? Let him help, please help me. Big ass. So then, of course, Klay and Draymond both were ejected from the game. Now, that's very uncharacteristic of Klay. Klay doesn't really get involved in a lot of back and forth. The last time I remember him getting into something was, he wasn't ejected, but he got into a situation where he was bragging about his four rings or something. Klay is not really a trash talk. Well, don't get me wrong. He probably trash talks to an extent, but he's not like a big Gary Payton trash talking dude. He's not a very physical guy like that. So that's uncharacteristic of Klay. But you know what could be? Frustration, man. It could just be frustration. You know what I'm saying? We got to admit, man, that Klay this year does not look like Klay. I'm not saying he's awful. He's not. But so far this year, man, he doesn't look like Klay. Now, I could be saying this right now. Klay could be launching threes left and right and making me look like a fool. But I'm just talking about going into tonight's game. He has not looked like Klay. Draymond, I expect this shit because whenever Steph Curry's not there, Dre does this all the time. How many times we seen Steph Curry not playing, and Draymond try to find some excuse to get ejected from the game? So you won't blame him for his atrocious stats when the game is over. You know what I'm saying? Steph Curry not there putting up his 31 points a game. So you looking at these motherfuckers to pull the slack, and all Draymond can do is muster up 6 points, 6 rebounds, and 5 assists. They ain't gonna fucking do it, man. So, all I know, man, is that this team lacks. This is not the Warriors, bro. This ain't the Warriors. The Warriors are playing like a team that's in peril, bro. Like in decline. The Warriors were once a well-oiled machine. The Warriors are now playing like a group of dudes who are lost out there. Some guys don't know what the fuck they're supposed to be doing. I don't know, man. They can't score outside of Steph Curry. I read that with the exception of going into tonight's game, it could change. Outside of the center, I can't think of his name, no other player has scored more than 20 points this season. We're into the 12th game of the year, other than Curry, I should say. No other guy has scored 20 points. That's a team that has Wiggins. That's a team that has Klay Thompson. That's a team that has Chris Paul. How in the hell is that possible? So, you know what I'm saying? And this is the result of what I was telling you guys about having to rely too much on Steph Curry. Now, Steph's minutes are down, but still, they're relying too much on him offensively. At this stage of his career, at age 35, going on 36, they need to kind of lessen a little bit of the load, even offensively. I understand that Chris Paul is taking a lot of the load off of Steph as far as playmaking. But still, you can't keep relying on one guy scoring like this, especially as they get up there in age, because injuries start taking a role, starts playing a role. So at the end of the day, these guys got to step the fuck up, man. Wiggins, you can't be averaging 10 points, man. You can't be shooting 15% from downtown. Klay, you got to be more consistent. You can't be turning the ball like that. He's averaging over 2 turnovers a game. That doesn't sound like a lot, but this is a guy that does not handle the ball much. So for him to be averaging over 2 turnovers a game is a lot for him. I understand he's not going to be the same defender. He's not going to be the same player. But you got to be a little bit more consistent, bro. Draymond, this dude's just a fucking fool. Okay, he's acting a fool. He's losing control. He's losing his goddamn mind. I don't know what's going on with this dude, man. I think the Minnesota Timberwolves have gotten into these dudes' skins, man. I honestly believe that. I think the Warriors realize that they're losing their edge. They've lost their edge. These new teams, these new guys are not afraid of them. The mystique is over. Okay? Like back in the late 90s when a team faced the Bulls and 80% of those teams were defeated before the ball even tipped? Those days are over for the Warriors. They don't have that mystique anymore. You can't just show up on the court, Draymond, and mean mug a motherfucker think it's over. So, that's all I got to say on this one, man. Tell me what you guys think, but that shit was funny. He had that motherfucker in a yoke. That shit was like Baby Boy. That's right. Cry for your mama, nigga. Jody, Rudy. Le mama.